Thank you all. Welcome to this webinar. And like you have all come and signed up for this webinar. The focus on the topic of today's webinar is to understand what should I, as an employee, or me as an aspiring professional, do or skill myself on to ensure that there is a career growth which is happening. I'm sure each one of us, wherever we are, either we could be working professionals, we could be students who are yet to start our careers, or somebody who could have been experienced professional in their respective careers. There's one thing which always motivates us is growth. We all want to grow, isn't it? Nobody wants to stay as they are. As humans, we want to grow. We want to grow in our learning. We want to grow in our careers. We want to grow our bank accounts. We want to grow our assets. The only thing we don't want to grow is the waistline around our belly, isn't it? Okay, so I'm sure that's the aspiration, and that's exactly what the focus of this session is going to be. And on simple, what should we do, especially in a super competitive high funda area like data science, data analytics, AI, ML. These are all good buzzwords which we keep hearing around us on social media, in news, among our own organizations, and also across our circles. So what it takes, what kind of skills one should be looking at, and how can Edology, the organization, can help you in this journey to make you grow in your careers. So before I get started on the topic, let me introduce myself. I am Sumant. While my team has mentioned a couple of aspects about me, that I head the business of Edology. So what Edology will come a little later. But I think I would prefer to introduce myself in a different way. And I something I keep telling to my team. I am probably I was an average student, an Aam Aadmi, when I joined my engineering college, coming from a lower middle class family. Education was a very, very important tool then for a transformation, especially for people who are in lower middle class kind of a setup, because that was used as a power tool for people to grow. So my parents, a typical middle class family, wanted me to do engineering, and that's where I got to engineer. I was a computer science engineer, and I only looked at computer science engineering when I was in the 4 years, and after that I forgot that. Something which I never really enjoyed. And then worked for a year or two in an organization, in an IT company, and that's the only companies which were offering jobs at that point of time, talking about more than a decade. And pursued my MBA or post-graduation program from IIM Kozhikode, one of the top business schools in this country. And I think the interesting part of my career, so far it's the boring part, the interesting part of my career actually started post that. The first job opportunity I've got once I've passed out of IMK was with IPL, Indian Premier League. So I was working with Sony Entertainment Television, a part of IPL marketing, a part of IPL launch itself. So I'm one of the co-founding team members of IPL, Indian Premier League. IPL is a very big phenomena today. I'm talking about in 2008-9 when IPL just launched. I was fortunate to work with the likes of Sachin Tendulkar's, MS Dhoni's, Virat Kohli's, and of course your Virat Kohli is a big name today, not as big as he was at that point of time. So that has been the turning point. Been into education for a good decade, having trained and taught to almost 4 lakh students in terms of career guidance, in terms of the skills which will enable them to grow in their careers, to start their careers as well. And over the last couple of years, 2.5 years, I've been heading this business of Edology, which focuses predominantly on the space of upskilling, helping professionals who have just entered their careers, who are mid of their careers, or who are going in their careers, to make them go higher in the ladder in their organizations or in the particular domain. So that's the brief about me. Let me start getting into the session. We'll make the session interactive. You can always share your questions, your opinions, anything you would like me to elaborate on, both on Q&A or in chat, whichever is accessible to you. We'll make this session very succinct, focusing on what are the kind of opportunities which are there in job market today, especially in this data arena, and what are the changes and happening. And something I keep telling to my students, whenever you are preparing for a career growth or an enhancement, you should not just be prepared for what is there yesterday or what is there today. The most important part would be what is going to come tomorrow, the anticipation. If you are just going by the change which is happening, you're tiding the change. But if you're able to anticipate, forecast, and prepare yourself for a futuristic changes which could happen in the technology or in your in the kind of domains you're working in, then you are making yourself ready for a future change. As a result, you will end up becoming a leader. And each one of us have to strive to be leaders rather than just followers, because the world itself is changing from a follower model to a leadership model. All right. So to get started with, let's first look at some data. Now, needless to say, we are talking about data science. We're talking about careers in this place, learning for this part. So let's back on data, which always speaks the truth. What is the kind of story which is happening right now, especially in this field where we're talking about data and data science or AI ML or analytics? Needless to say, there's a phenomenal growth in the need for data analytics, just not in smaller organizations, but in larger organizations. Today, we're talking about chief data officers. We're talking about chief information officers. We're talking about technology enabling data. We're talking about data in marketing. We're talking about data in every space of our life. So there is a tremendous growth which is happening, just not in India, just not globally, but as well in India. And whenever we are looking at, the beauty about data is that it is geography agnostic. That means it makes you prepare for not just for a career in a country, but a global career. Because these are numbers, they help, and they end up being constant wherever they are. However, certain sensitization towards a particular geography is important, especially when we're talking about GDPR compliances, the way we usage of the data, a certain country specific understanding, that is very, very important. But however, purely from a growth opportunity, it's prevalent, it's there everywhere. Now, the market size itself is phenomenal. And people today believe that, I mean, this is a very common cliched phrase you would have heard by now: data is the new oil. This is seen as the growth revenue driver for a lot of organizations. Sales and marketing, bases use a lot of data. I mean, I run a sales and marketing. I have my own sales and marketing team, and one of the things I always go back to is the data, because otherwise everybody speaks a story. All right, and that's where in every area, might it be in every industry and every specific function, the need for a data analyst, the need for somebody who can put across data science models, machine learning models, is very, very, very highly needed. And that means this is probably one of those hottest areas and continues to be the hottest area. All right. Yes, probably there's a phenomenon which started a few years back. And lot many times what happens is that when a phenomena starts, it also dies down. For example, if you remember mainframes, I'm not sure how many of you can connect and understand that. It was a phenomenon in 90s and then it went down. Then .NET, it went down. Almost every phenomenon in technology has a huge high at the same point of time. At some point of time, it tapers down and it becomes diluted. But the beauty about this arena of data analytics or data science is that it seems to be on a rising curve still, and it is going to be continue to rise at least for the next 10 years or so. And after that, probably some certain models might come out, nobody will have an understanding of it, but till it has an alternative, it continues to be on the growing trend. Yes, the nature of the application of it is changing, and that's what we're going to see in the next slide. How is the application of this technology or understanding these skills is changing? You have to adapt to that application, but however, at a core, the need for a data analyst, the need for a data scientist remains to continue to grow from a business perspective. All right. And of course, all this industry growing, market growing, all this is beautiful to hear it on the news, to see it on the slides. But what does it mean to me as an individual, to me as a professional? And that's where the last circle is such a powerful circle: salary. Of all the jobs which you're talking about right now in technology, one of the fastest growing and the highest paying jobs are coming from this space of data science and data analytics. That means if you are a data scientist or you have an understanding into this area, you are looking at just doubling your salary. Sometimes it's 10 times. Some people have actually gone up to 400 times of their salary. Now, those numbers are mind boggling because of the dearth of the talent. Now, why is this happening? It's always a supply and demand chain, which always goes. There's so much of demand. As I told you, every industry, every domain, every function needs a data scientist. Each of them dependent on data analytics. So when there's so much of demand, yet there is supply is restricted. You can ask me, sir, aren't there so many training institutions? Aren't there so many people who are doing all kind of learning in data science? Then why is there a shortage? When the key word I've used is talent. Now, talent is not equal to anybody who learns. Talent is equal to quality of what you have learned and how are you applying. So the quality talent is the question mark right now. Reports say that almost every company, every domain is today complaining that the quantum of jobs they have in data science, and for every 7 jobs they have in data science, they're only able to find one talent, one resource. That means for each job there are 6 more opportunities, and I'm talking about jobs everywhere. I'll just multiply that into that and see the kind of opportunities which are there. So opportunities are there. The question is, are we ready? Am I as a professional, am I as an individual ready to be sucked into that opportunity, to cling on to that opportunity and make that opportunity my own right? Now that's the question we need to answer, and that is the preparation we need to focus on. Now, this is a place where let me also bring to you another very interesting change which is happening. Today, data science is not just seen as a technology. It is actually seen as an application into various domains. What do I mean by that? How do I apply data science or data analytics into healthcare is the significant shift which is happening. So you might be from any industry. The beauty right now is that you can be a non-technical person as well. One of the philosophy people carry is that, okay, this is technology. So if I'm a person who is not keen on technology, how can I get into this careers into this area? Now, I like the example I said, I am a non-tech guy. I never enjoyed technology, but today I adopted and I apply a lot of data analytics in the decision making. So there I am not actually being a technology person. I am more focusing on the application of it into a particular domain. For example, I focus on data analytics on creating the right products which would help my learners. I focus on the data analytics in focusing on the sales and marketing, in optimizing the sales process, in doing programmatic marketing. All right. So the application of this technology is where today the world is moving in. So if you are a professional and you want to be ahead in careers, if you want to be ahead of your competition, of your colleagues who are elsewhere present in just not in organization but elsewhere also, the key, the secret sauce, the mantra here is that get into application of technology across domains. In our batch of IBM and UCI, and that's the context of which we are also meeting today. We have worked with IBM and UCI in launching a data science program. One of those students there, from our current batch, is a nutritionist, and she is learning data analytics to see how can we apply data analytics and data science into nutrition, food, into health, into that area. The other person, for one more learner for me, is coming from a supply chain management background, and today data analytics into supply chain is becoming a huge phenomena. Companies like Amazon's, your Flipkarts, your Mintras, they're all struggling and they're all looking forward to for analysts who can probably optimize the entire supply chain process. So if you're able to, similarly in healthcare, you're talking about healthcare informatics. I'm sure you guys have for the latest ad which has come on Ultra Human, where Shreyash Iyer was wearing a badge on his on his arm, and that was giving all the analytics about how he's performing cricket. What kind of shots he is playing, what kind of, how is his metabolism going on, where are the highs he's getting in, how is his glucose levels are moving, when he's running, where is his heart pumping higher. So the entire analytics, just not at a performance of sports, but even at a health management level, has started coming into picture. This is what we call as health informatics. Now that's a beautiful arena. That's again an application which is happening out there. I'm talking about in sports. You follow World Cups, you follow T20, you follow IPL, you see a lot of analytics which comes into it. Experts, commentators refer to analytics and they start commenting about it. All this is moving around the key area of data science and data analytics. All right. So what is the good news here? The good news here is that twofold. One, if you are a person who is in this, who understands this technology and are able to apply to various domains, and that's exactly what we teach you through our programs also. We teach you on at least on 5 domains. How do you apply that? Right now, 5 prominent domains. So if you're able to understand the technology and its application, you always have an advantage because you come with the power of 2. You understand technology and its application. And I repeat this, going forward, more than pure play technologies, application is going to is the key, and that's what future is looking at as well. Similarly, if you are a person from one of these domains, like I referred to an example earlier, a nutritionist, she learns the technological tools on the data analytics and data science, and then she applies into her own domain. She's again ahead of the curve. So either ways, it works to your advantage. So either you understand the technology and apply to a domain, or you understand the domain, you learn the technology, so that you're combining both of them. And that's where jobs are becoming higher, which means, now I'll ask you a simple question. How many domains do you think are there in this world? Sales, marketing, real estate, I'm talking about retail, I'm talking about healthcare, law. One of the programs we are working right now is AI in law, programmatic contract drafting. I'm talking about law. You pick up design, you pick up architecture. Oh, you name it, you need data in it. You name it, you can look at a career there, including media and entertainment. Today, media and entertainment needs a lot of data analysts, data science, glamorous jobs, and amazing opportunities. Imagine OTT. You're able to Netflixes and Amazons of today apply a lot of analytics in understanding which show works. How do I focus the recommendation of which show to be watched? What kind of, in fact, Netflix does a huge data algorithmic understanding what kind of genres are audience preferring, and as a result focuses on its production towards those genres. Right. So that's the kind of application people are looking at, and that's the power of you understanding it. Now, all this is beautiful for a lot of you people. You might be already aware of this. All right. But the reason why I wanted to brief you, and I took those first 15 minutes or so to brief you on that, is because you need to understand, and I keep saying there are 2 very important things whenever you are looking at a battle or a war. Why am I there in that war? What do I have out of it? Because you don't want to fight every battle, right? It's waste of energy, time, money, and everything else. Is it an important battle? Now, is it important for me to equip myself with these kind of technological skills? Answer is yes. Is it important for me to understand the application of these skills? Absolutely, bingo there. So that's the why. Then the next part comes in, okay, now I understood why I want to do something. And obviously the why there is you want to have a career growth and you want to be ahead of the curve. But the most important then comes is, okay, so what should I do now? And how do I go about doing that? All right. Now, that's where I think I want to bring in the solution which Edology has developed. Now, is this the only solution in the market? Absolutely. I'm sure a lot of you might be considering other options as well. But at least from my side, I'll be honest and share with you what went through our thought process. Because one of the philosophy I come with, as I told you, for me as a philosophy, I always believe that education has a power to change careers. This is a story which I keep telling to my students, since most of you are still not my students, and probably that's the reason why I want to share this story with you. So I come from a lower middle class where the greatest holiday and I come from South India, from Hyderabad. The greatest holiday is when my father takes us out to a movie, and the popular hero then was Chiranjeevi. I'm not sure how many of you have heard about the Telugu erstwhile superstar, megastar Chiranjeevi. And we used to go on a Bajaj Chetak scooter. My father, we were two siblings, my younger brother and I, we were sandwiched between my father and my mother and go to a movie. And that was a brilliant holiday for us. All right. And we used to wait for when the movie gets released, and that's how we used to go. Now that's the kind of economic status in which I have grown up. But what changed my life and my younger brother's life is education. I happened to pursue my education from one of the top business schools of this country, and then I worked with the likes of Dhoni's and Tendulkar's and Virat Kohli's, a very aspirational career. All right, and after that, probably from all the being a lower middle class family, today I am an upper middle class family, stature. My younger brother, education today he heads he heads the technology of Visa cards. So that's the power of education. That's where education is so very close to my heart. And when we as Edology conceptualize this program, the first thought we always, okay, how do I empower my learner? Because how do I bring the power of education so that whoever is going through this particular program, when they come out, they have a transformation in their career. Like the way I experienced a transformation in my career, financially, at a stature wise, at a respect wise, a connect wise. How could we ensure that our learners who go through this program have such kind of a transformation in their career? The key phrase I would like to use is transformation of your careers. That means you can change domains, you can change fields. From being at a 2 position, you can go into a 22 position. For me, transformation is not 2 to 3. 2 to 3 is a natural growth which happens anytime. But the reason why you go through such kind of learning programs is that so that you can catapult from a point of 2 to 22. And that's when the maja is. That's where the entire impact and effectiveness comes into picture. So when we were doing that, the question is very simple. What if I give it to my learner? What if we teach to our learner? How do we, if I give the particular learning program, it will move them from 2 to 22. Now that's where two very important aspects have come out. One, whenever you're talking about application, whenever you're talking about technology, etc., there are thousands of teachers who can teach you that. And there are thousands of teachers teaching you. But when you learn it from the best, you become the best. When you learn it from the best, from the horse mouth, when you learn it from the right people, that's when you move from 2 to 22. Otherwise, you move from 2 to 2.5 to 3 to 3.5, and that keeps moving on. By the time your competition is at 22, 44, 66, and they keep multiplying there. And when we have reached, when I use the word best, the best should come from industry. Imagine industry professionals who are innovators in data science, who are patent holders, who are actually futuristic in their innovations, come and teach you. The kind of learning you get there, and they come and teach you at a very basic level. Do not even assume that, okay, these are innovators or these are the kind of practicing professionals. Do they teach me something which I don't understand? Absolutely no. For a non-techie person, for somebody who does not come from technological background, for somebody who does not come from a coding background, they come to that level, and a practicing professional who's applying data science, data analytics in their day-to-day life across various domains, they come and teach you. The learning would be multiplied. The learning would be amazing. That as the first concept we want to do it. So we wanted to bring in the industry practicing professionals, the best of them, to teach you. And nobody today is better than IBM, which has the largest patents and the largest innovations and applications in the space of data science. They professionals are teaching you. This entire program is designed by them, delivered by them. Every session is delivered by them, plus adding experts from various industry elements, also the best from that. At the same point of time, we also wanted to add One more power there. Yes, one is industry power. The second important power tool is academia. All these are learning programs. End of the day, whenever you go through a learning program, the impact comes in when you are when you're able to get a certification or a validation that the whatever you're learning is amazing, and the people who can validate is academic institutions. And if that can be validated by just not a top Indian university, but a top global university, then whatever you are learning is accepted globally. Because I keep saying it, you don't have to aspire just to be a good Indian professional. You should be aspiring to compete in a global environment. There, the salaries are different, the league is different, the stature is different, the aspiration is different, right? A different league altogether. Now that's a place where we brought in University of California, Irvine, UCI, among the top 10 public universities in the US. Now that is what we call as the power of two. It is just not one masala, double masala. And I'm sure, because I come from a lot of media background, you will see a lot of media language as well. And that's the reason why I think my team has also preferred to use a media, a movie poster out here. Any one of you take a guess on which movie are we referring to right now? Yes, the latest blockbuster referring to Vikram Veda. Now imagine two powerful star casts, Hrithik Roshan, Saif Ali Khan, come together, in a format, and then the experience of the movie is different. Similarly, when we were designing this program, the idea was to bring the best of the two worlds, best of industry, best of academia, combine them so that when you come out, you're not just learning from the best in one arena, but you're learning from the best in both the arenas, and you're getting the power of two so that you're able to double your careers, not just a single growth. All right. Now, so what does this mean? What does it mean? What does this, but in this particular program, the value it adds to you as an individual? I keep saying it. One, whatever I'm creating, I might have created a beautiful, a very high, which I assume is a fantastic dish. But end of the day, the taste of it should matter to the end person who's consuming that dish. So, and it has to be palatable to that person, and he or she should enjoy the dish, right? So what does this kind of a medley, this dish which has been garnished with two beautiful giants, how does it add value to your CV? How does it add you to your career? And that is the most important part, we need to understand, because end of the day, if it doesn't add value to you, I mean, a lot of people like or enjoy iPhone, but as long at the end of the day, if you're not able to, you don't connect with it, however premium it might be, it is still a distant, for you. So let me make you understand how this is going to be helpful to you. The first and important thing which you get through this program is an IBM badge. Now, yes, IBM certificates, we all talk about certifications. You go to other online learning platforms, etc. You keep getting certifications, etc. Certification is one aspect to it. In fact, IBM itself partners with a few of other online learning platforms and provides certification. But when it comes to badge, the power itself is different. Badge is a very, very premium segment of IBM. Like, for example, in Samsung, you have 8,000, 5,000 mobiles. But then the latest, Samsung, which can, which folds, which opens, etc., is a different league altogether. Not everybody can have it. It's a premium league, right? Similarly, IBM badge is a premium league. IBM badge is awarded only if IBM professionals teach. If they, qualify you, if they mentor you in industry project, and they certify that you are ready to be taken by any other organization at a high level, only then IBM badge is offered to you. All right. And this program offers you IBM badge because all what I've told you are being done by the IBM professionals. They are designing the program, they are teaching you the program, they are mentoring you in your capstone projects, they're making you apply this knowledge in various industry, and then they are providing you this badge. All right. Now, what does IBM badge itself? Why is it so powerful? I'm just giving you a simple example. In a company like Infosys, all right, people who have IBM badges, Infosys is a service company. It goes to its clients who are in the US and other global markets. and charges the clients at least 200 times. I mean, at least, I mean, 2 to 3 times more than a normal salary they would have than a normal person they would have, asked for. That means if Infosys is charging, let's say hypothetically 100,000 USD for one resource who does not have IBM badge, vis-a-vis somebody who has an IBM badge, they charge 400,000 USD from a client. So when it is more money for the for a company, how does the company treat you? They will treat you higher. So you can get better appraisals, you can get better salaries, you will get better opportunities if you are carrying an IBM badge. Now, this is a digital badge. You can put it on your LinkedIn. You can use it in your signature when you send an email. You can use it on your WhatsApp. You can use it on your resume. It is visible everywhere. It's unlike a certificate which you have to carry. It's a badge. You can flaunt it on your LinkedIn. The minute a potential recruiter sees that you have an IBM badge in data science or in AI, oh, okay, this is the person I want to go and hire. Okay, let me first have a conversation with them. And because it's an IBM badge and not just a certificate, the value of the conversation would be higher. You can always tell them, you know what, if I come to your company and because I am carrying IBM badge, phenomenal. You can tomorrow use my badge for your benefit. So in that case, why don't you pay me more? As simple as that. If not you, somebody else will pay for me. So that's the that's the value, that's the power of that badge. It gives you a better visibility in recruiters. It gives you a better conversation during salary conversations and appraisals, and inherently it has a higher value at an organizational level. All right. Now, the second important part is that, okay, one, the outcome badge which you keep getting in. But the other very important part is that this entire program is taught by IBM people, and you are actually also mentored by them. The projects are being created by them. Okay, what kind of, for example, there's a project which they're doing towards retail, in retail e-commerce. How do we apply that? Now imagine people who are actually solving those business problems, bring that and teach you how do we do that. Suddenly, when you go to a prospective recruiter or in your own company, if you want to change in job, you want to shift a particular area, you want to move into high paying jobs, you also not just possessing the technological capability, but also the application of it, because it has been taught by a professional, and because he or she has taught you the application of it in the way they have been applying. So your learning is extremely close to what industry needs. As a result, you can be immediately imbibed into onboard into the industry. Anybody who's readily deployable always has a preference in industry. So IBM batch, the learning you're getting through these professionals, because it is not taught by some Tom, Dick and Harry, some professional from some place, or some a teacher from some place, with due respect to all of them, this is actually taught by IBM professionals. Now the third, which is a binary product of all this, is that with IBM, we have also come out with a model where, because it's such a powerful program and they have designed it and they have mentored people and they have taught you all, the top performers will get an internship opportunity if you choose to, and you will also get a job interview opportunity with IBM. Yes, I do appreciate and understand nobody can guarantee you a job, because I can only take you to the I can only put the food, nice meal in front of you. Eating is your responsibility. Okay, unlike we are all grown-ups, so mommy and daddy might not be feeding us even today, but the best thing which happens is if you are among the top performers meeting certain criteria which IBM has said, and there are people who have done that already, you actually get a job opportunity with IBM, not with any job of IBM. I'm talking about into the innovation centers, into the application centers, into the the high paying jobs of IBM. All right. Now that's the other power advantage. Now these are some of the advantages. There is a much more elaborate list, but what we chose to put here is probably a few for you to understand how the value it can add to that. Now let's come to we have done with Vikram. Let's come to Veda. We have done with one powerhouse one power star. Now let's come to the other power star of this particular program, all right, which is UCI, University of California. The distance learning, or it's called as continuous education. And I'm sure most for the working professionals and etc., most of these universities have a school called as continuous education. Now, what does UCI do? UCI, of course, first of all, UCI does not give certification like chocolates. It does not distribute that. They validate the curriculum on few parameters. One, first of all, is it a global standard curriculum? That means, is it a program which highly reputed among the top 10 universities in the US? If I am putting my name behind it, it has to be highly reputed curriculum. Once that is done, the people who are teaching it and everything is certified, then a university like UCI will come and say, okay, what this is a program I would like, I'm keen on validating. I'm keen on saying that it has a standard. So you get a UCI original transcript, which means it is equal to people who are studying offline in UCI. All right. So they give this original transcript of certificate only to people who are studying in UCI physically. And if you ever want to get an admission into UCI, you should have a tremendous GRE scores and GMAT scores. All right. Now, through this program, the power of this program is so phenomenal that UCI felt that, okay, this is a one which is really useful for the learners. So we will be, seeing them alike as their, physical university students. You get an alumni status of UCI. Imagine I could have proudly claimed saying I'm an alumni of IMK, and it's a reputation which always carries on, on my resume, on my profile, something I proudly always carry on, in my life. So you become an alumnus of UCI. Yes, there are multiple other alumnus you can get from various other online learning parties, but the power of UCI is different. Just not that. They actually give you credits of that university. That means tomorrow, if at all you have an aspiration to further study into a master's or any higher education, you can use the credits of 6 credits of UCI. That's close to 1/4 of your learning into some other, into any other university's masters. Almost 20 universities are accepting UCI credits, and you can use it there. So you can continue your higher masters, which would have otherwise been difficult, which also means you're actually saving up to 25% of your cost, which you have otherwise spent. So an original certification of UCI, and UCI is among the top 10. You have the, alumni status, membership, the entire networking of University of California, the entire pride factor around behind it. Something which you can be proud at your family, in your colleagues. You can go to your boss and say, boss, I'm an alumnus of University of California. You can talk to your counterparts in the US and other places and say, what, I am an alumnus of, UCI. And I've learned from IBM professionals. Now conceive what kind of awqad I have, what kind of a stature I have, what kind of a caliber I'm bringing in onto the table. So the combination of this power of these two will give you the advantage of industry, the top industry, the academia, and I mean, if imagine, see, always understand this is a competitive space. Whenever a company is trying to recruit, whenever your boss is trying to appraise you, or do your appraisals, it's always a comparative game. Unfortunately, whether we like it or not, it's a very competitive and comparative. Even India, when India was selecting its T20 World Cup squad, I'm sure a lot of people have felt bad that Sanju Samson has missed, between Rishabh Pant and Dinesh Karthik, who should be considering. Oh, everywhere it is a comparison. Rishabh Pant or Dinesh Karthik. All right, Bumrah or somebody else. So whenever it's a comparative element, ask yourself one simple thing. When it is a comparison between two of my colleagues at an appraisal, am I scoring? Am I scoring better than the other person? That means, did I get the best of industry? Did I get the best of academia compared to what they have done? Imagine somebody puts a certificate in front of your boss saying, what, boss, I got an IBM certificate. And you put an IBM badge. Boss, I got an IBM badge. Oh, okay. I got, some university certificate. I got the top 10 university certificate from UCI. Which has more power? Which will impress the conversation better? I don't have to elaborate much on this. So that's how you make it the power of two. In every aspect, ask yourself, am I delta better than competition? Have I learned it from the best? Am I do I have the best credential to carry? If the answer is yes, you will always continue to be ahead in your career. You don't have to run, people will run behind you. Now, I think Edology's whole role in this entire game is very simple. We are a global tech company. I might be in India, but understand this is a company which is so based in India, is actually a global tech company. Okay, it's an European company, and we are operating out of India, because Indians are probably smarter in that sense. But and we have learners across the globe. All right, the focus of Edology has always been simple. The needs of organizations in the kind of workforce, the technology, the skills are changing every day. Like I told you yesterday, knowing data science is amazing. Today, knowing data science or data analytics is common. Applying it is amazing. Tomorrow, we're talking about meta. Tomorrow, we're talking about something which is very futuristic in nature. That is going to be amazing. So our endeavor has always been one simple philosophy: understanding how the needs are changing in job market. We should equip our learners with those skills which are not just for today but skills for tomorrow, so that at any point of time in our learners career, they are always growing forward. There's a continuous growth which is happening. I don't want you to train you. It's not like an IIT coaching institution which trains you. Okay, you get into IIT, I forget you. No, careers doesn't happen that way. It's not one-off instance. You should always continuously imbibe yourself with career skills so that you are staying ahead. And that is a fundamental philosophy of Edology. As I told you, education company, education first, learner centric, and whatever will help you to continuously grow in your career, to transform your career. That's my responsibility as an organization. That's our responsibility to build you that. And that's where we've been working on a different kind of programs. Like I told you, IBM and UCI. With KPMG, again, another big giant of industry, we are launching a techno manager programs, creating techno managers. Okay, now working on space design, AI in law, healthcare informatics. Now these are all jobs. These are all jobs of today and tomorrow. So that's where the entire focus of Edology as a learning platform, okay, is to bring the best of it. Is to bring those best on a particular platform which is heavily on technology. And obviously we are a technology platform, so we ensure that you are getting the right exposure, right experience of learning, and that's how your upskilling and your career enhancement is happening. Additionally, what we have also done is we have taken up something called as Career Plus Plus initiative. Now this is an initiative. While every people talk about technology, people talk about skills and every entirety of it, but what is also eventually important are two aspects. One, you need to understand the other related skills also. For example, how do we prepare for interviews? How do we create CVs? How do we create profiles which will impress people? Technology is one aspect, but the other aspects are ability to understand cognitive thinking, problem solving. These are all other skills which are tested. So one, Edology, through its own experts, trains you on that kind of a skill. And I'm one of those experts. And I have been trained, as I told you, I've trained 4 lakh or people on these skills, which today they are across various organizations. All right, to train you on skills which are not technical but adjoining the understand the negotiation skills. How do we ensure that in a team you're able to get the work done? Decision making. So these are the skills. Now that is one part of it, the training part of it. But the other interesting part, I'm doing a mentoring. We do a lot of mentoring with our learners to understand what are your career aspirations, because I don't want to give you guidance which is not in line with your career aspiration. So there would be a one-to-one mentoring, there would be a group mentoring, understanding your profile. Like as I told you, how do I know that one of my students is a nutritionist? Because I spoke with her, understood her aspiration, How should he wants to apply that? Now, if you that kind of personalization, which is very, very important, because each of the careers are your own. Okay, they might not be identical like somebody else, so I cannot give you one size fits all solution. So this entire customization is again a process of our career plus plus initiative. But the other very important element is also to provide you opportunities. So we like with the IBM, we said, okay, you know what, the top performers, give them a job interviews, and we will prepare them for the job interviews. Technical skills, Edology prepares you for job interviews. IBM gives you opportunities, but you lack it up. Similarly, we have been working with multiple other companies, different partnerships which will provide you opportunities. My goal is that anyone who wants a job change, anyone who wants a better salary, anyone who wants a career growth happening, we should be an enabler towards that. Now, if you were to ask me to promise, the answer is no. Because unfortunately, nobody, even if somebody were to promise you, you know what, I will give you a job, I will give you B, I will give you C, this is all a marketing drama. Eventually, they come with a lot of terms and conditions. So I don't want to go with any of such kind of a falsehood commitments or etc. We as an organization believe in giving you the right skills, empowering you with the right opportunities, and training you for those opportunities. Then you are not just getting through that particular opportunity, you're preparing yourself for a life, for a career. The greatest of the teachers never prepares the students for a examination. They prepare the students for a career. They prepare the students for their life. Come what may, their success in life is the philosophy. And it's exactly the philosophy through which Edology operates. And that's what we bring to your table. So in summary, there is IBM Giant, there is UCI, top 10 public universities in the US, and the center lining factor, Edology, which focuses on helping you to get a better jobs, helping you to grow in your careers in terms of the right skills and the right combinations. So while everybody talks about the amazing food we would have had, with putting the right, but end of the day, the chef who brings in all those things is also is in a centrally very important part of this entire story. All right, and we are that chef which are bringing in you the right combinations to ensure that your career is growing, and it's growing continuously. Okay, that's for me the overall view of this particular program on what kind of careers and how you should be prepared. While this conversation is happening, let me also look at some of the questions. I think some of you have been asking questions, so I also have a slide where I have seen a lot of people asking this kind of a common questions. I believe some of this I've already answered, like IBM badge and certificate. We've already been through that. If I do not have a coding experience, I think I've answered this. Yes, you can. I gave you an example of a nutritionist, and she does not even come from a coding and technology experience, all right? How can I ensure that I stand out from the rest? Learn it from the best. I think the key there is learn from the best, learn the application of something, and learn continuously. I think these are three key pointers for me. You should, when you learn it from the best. IBM, UCI, unbeatable combination. One of the strong partnerships you have. You learn it continuously. Okay, I learned it yesterday, today I sleep. No, the world is changing in a very dynamic canvas. The continuous learning is important. All right. And three, you as I told you, it's always competition. You be better than other person. So you always have to have that edge over the other person. All right. Okay, let me go to the chat and see some of these questions. I'm going, from the latest to what has been asked. I want to switch from sales to data science. What is your advice? Oh, amazing. In fact, there are two parts to it. Today, in fact, earlier today, I was interacting with a Israeli technology company, to see if we can partner with them in offering some of the programs. And one of the program which they are proposed, a very interesting program, is how do we enable the data science and data analytics skills to sales people to make them better. So we are talking about data science and data analytics into sales. So I know your name because I'm seeing it as Test Vora. If you can let me know your name, I'll probably address you by your name. And I really like to address my students by names. The answer is A, you can shift from sales to data science. Absolutely, there's no restriction. That's a very common phenomenon which keeps happening. Sorry. At the same point of time, you can also look at combining both of them also, the application of data into sales. Suddenly, you would become a sales leader, you will become a sales head, your entire career graph itself shifts. So when you have one skill already, don't just want to let go of that skill. That plus this, another power of two. When I keep saying power of two, you always see how do you move from 2 to 22, not 2 to 3 or 2 to 4, right? So when you ever want to move on to 22, look at what kind of exponential combinations I can work on. And that's something we can do when we are having, when we are looking at our mentoring sessions, etc. To see, how do we look at that? But yes, as a starting point, you need to understand and see how understand the technology of data science and see whether you want to apply it or you want to look at a pure play career here. All right. Hope that answers your question. I want to switch. I think this question I've already answered. I want some certificate webinar from IBM. Absolutely. I will probably communicate with my team. We keep doing these webinars from IBM also. The team out here, probably the next session, let's plan it with IBM. And I've also been to this session, which is planned by UCI also. So you can always attend those sessions also. Absolutely. These sessions keep happening on a weekly basis. So there's a pattern. So today I've taken a session giving you an overview. Next session would happen by IBM heads. Then we will have UCI set of people, and they will also be planning for the sessions. Okay. Tilaga, thanks for the question. Will this be different from the information available on website about the topics? Absolutely no, ma. It's all same. Probably the way I explained, because I'm probably a good teacher. I'm not too sure, my other colleagues who have explained that way or not. But yeah, it's the same information. Everything is whatever we told is what is there, and this is exactly what you get. Also, there's nothing wrong about it as well. Right. The next question is, why should I choose an online platform for upskilling? Purely from the convenience. If you want the IBM professionals to come to your home or come to your school or college, that will never happen. Unfortunately, that will never happen because they are very busy. They are working professionals. So if you ever want to learn from the best, you have to go there. Look at your history. Look at your scriptures. Whenever a student, like Arjuna or etc., wanted to learn, did their teacher come to their home or they went to the teacher's place? Okay, so just to give you an understanding, I think today, offline, online, the lines have all removed at an acceptance. Very recently, UGC, which is University, Grants Commission, all the universities fall under UGC. They came with a statement saying whether you do an offline degree or an online degree, they are both equal. We are seeing them as equal. Industry says whether you've done an offline or an online, we see you alike when we are recruiting or when we are evaluating you. So I think today those lines have been removed. So which one is better is not even a question. It's about convenience. It's about which is convenient to you and which will give you a regular access to the best. Imagine UCI for UCI, some of the experts of UCI teaching. Now they might not be coming to Bangalore or or Mumbai or Delhi or any of the tier 2 cities every week or every second week to teach you. I myself, and I'll be taking some of sessions, I might not be able to travel to every place to take that, but a session like this, I could do it from the comfort of my home, from my studios, right? Similarly with IBM professionals, if every session is being taken by IBM professionals, and you expect they cannot be there everywhere. So that's the reason why online is giving you more efficiency, access to the best, and at the same point of time, convenience. Yeah. Yes, somebody is giving examples of how data science is applied at various spaces, right? I think most of the questions I was able to answer in this chart. If there are any other questions, anything else you would like me to answer, address, please feel to write down. And just as some of the information our team has already given there. The detailed information about these programs are listed on the website. You can always go and understand what is there in this particular program. You can talk to our experts. who are advisors, who would be, who will be in touch with you to understand how do we go about doing that, right? And at any point of time, you need to have more understanding, more clarity, you can always seek that, and we will be providing that information. I think very soon we are starting our next cohort of IBM and UCI data science and AIML. We're doing data science program and also AIML. We are starting it very soon. And I really would like look forward for each one of you to be a part of that program, because it's a very transformational programs, and I really want each one of you to be transformed in your careers. You becoming a better professional, you're growing financially, you're growing in your careers, and moving to the leadership. And if Edology can be a partner in that journey, there is much more, that is nothing more gratifying for us as a team to then to see our students succeed in growing their careers. So I earnestly look forward for each one of you to be a part of this particular program. It's a highly recommended, very positive reviews for people who have been going through this program. And I'm talking about diversity of people across the globe. And I think that's a place where you also would like to be, because if you are not learning from the best, somebody else is learning, they are moving ahead of you. Understand that very, very clearly. It's a very brutally competitive market. If you are not putting the right steps, somebody else is putting them, and then they are ahead of you. And the last thing you want to do is keep catching up every time. Sometimes you want to go ahead of your life also, right? I think a couple of last questions which are also here. Dheeraj wants to know how much importance and opportunities does data science have compared to IIML. See, I think it's for me, it'll be wrong if I say a particular field is better than another particular field. Data science focuses on data, application of data, understanding it, and the modeling around it. But any modeling needs algorithms, needs to understand, and needs learning how to go through that. And that's where machine learning and AI comes into picture. So each of them have their own spirit, each of them have their own opportunities. People apply, for example, you're talking about application of AI in law, that is depend, both of them are correlated. So it's like, do we need both? Answer is yes. Which one is better? That's never a case. Opportunities are there because we need both of them. The probably the slight difference is that if you're a person who is keen little more on technology, if you're keen on aspects like probably let me close this screen share now that we have it. Yeah, if you're a person who's keen on technology, if you're a person who's keen on engineering, core techie or more into that, then AIML. If you're a person more keen on application, data, understanding of it, analyzing of it, and probably the decision making around it, then probably data science. But having said that, both of them are intermixed, interplay with each other. So it's wrong to say which one has better opportunity, because each of them have equal and both of them have amazingly growing opportunities. So I need ML experts, I need data scientists. I need both of them in my own business and my own company. So if either of them, I will be looking for you and I'll be paying you well as well. All right. I am Harsha and I currently have 15 years of experience in field of IT application monitoring and observability. I would like to use what I'm learning from this PGP in my field. So in case there's an interview opportunity given to me, does it also base what my past experience? Answer is yes. Trust me, today world respects your experience. One of our students who in the current batch is 15 years of experience, a solution architect choosing to learn. I'm sure, Harisha, are you there? If you're there, this is probably answering your question. So one of our students right now, 15 years of experience, solution architect, okay, and he's gone into, he's learning this program so that they can apply and learn and in their own field go forward. The opportunities you get is not just on the program you have learned. The opportunities you get is based on your experience plus the program which you learned combination will help you to go forward. So the answer is yes. Even with IBM, etc., when they interview you also, and if you are among the top in the interview or any other opportunity, people consider your experience significantly as well. All right. So when when I recruit people or when I myself go for somebody to look forward in my previous companies, they saw my experience of IPL. Might not be applicable into education, but they respected it because they know that these are skills I've developed. This is an understanding of elements I have. So that way, your past experience is always considered. Yeah, hope that answers your question. What would you suggest for a backend developer? Because backend developer is already field in itself, which requires full focus. And I believe data science is another whole new ocean as field and requires full attention equally. What is your take on this? See, now, okay, let me give you again. I keep giving you a lot of personal examples because, as I say, I'm an average student. If an average student like me could think like this, I'm sure smarter professionals like you would be able to think in a better way. So when I did my education and my earlier career was in marketing. Okay. Now, when I wanted to grow in my career, I realized that some of these areas has a upper limit. That means in a marketing, I can probably become a marketing head, and I can become chief marketing officer. There is a restriction, or there's always that ceiling for me. My aspiration is always to head a business. Want to be a CEO of an organization, want to be a business head of an organization. That means I just cannot, my expertise cannot be restricted towards marketing. I need to understand probably sales. I need to understand product. I need to understand academics. How do we look at it? I need to understand technology. So I started diversifying. As I kept diversifying, I started growing as well, growing to higher positions. So again, I don't have your name here, but it's coming as test Vora. But whoever is asked this question, do you want to be in one area to one level and stop there, or do you want to become more versatile? Give yourself, Prabhu, yeah, Prabhu, thank you. Do you want to become more versatile, giving yourself more opportunities, better opportunities? Because tomorrow, if you understand that back-end development, full front-end, full stack has a ceiling point. All right. Data science is a growing field. This is also growing, but the pace at which data science AML is growing is significantly different. So you don't want to have a regret that, what, because the more and more you go into a position and you stagnate there, it becomes more and more difficult for you to move into a different position or a different field. So always good to have those options open. Whether you choose or not, decision is at a later stage. Opportunities to make yourself be ready is today's decision. Because you don't want a case where after 1 year you realize, last year I should have taken up that program, maybe I should have been in a different place. That never regret. Regret of not trying something is much more horrible than a regret of trying something. You try something and fail, it's fine. At least you tried it. But if you don't try something and then you regret it later, it's a horrible feeling. So my suggestion as a mentor would be, give it a shot. Diversify your profile, become versatile. Because when the opportunity is there, you're ready for that. Right? Okay. The next question, again, let me open the chat. What is the future scope of data science? Tilak, I think I've kind of elaborated that earlier part of my presentation. How data science, in the entire data analytics market is growing, jobs are growing. Out of every 7 needed jobs, there's only one talent they're having, 6 deficiencies there across domains, how it is being applied to domains, how it is growing. All the data we've already gone through it. In short, opportunity is amazing, salaries are amazing, growth is amazing. So if you want to be the best, this is probably one of the best fields to be there. Okay, one last question. I'm a junior executive in aviation. Will learning data science help me grow in my job? Oh, brilliantly, yes. So, in fact, today, if you look at aviation, airline business, etc., everything is moving into a data-enabled decision making. Now, there are 2 ways to look at it. One, it will help you to become smarter in your own domain. As a result, yes, today, is it widely prevalent in your domain? Answer is no. I keep saying this. Domain application, still a small thing today. But next year, it's going to become bigger. That next year, bigger. Data science 5 years before was a small thing. Today, it's an ocean. And you are probably not at the higher point of the ocean. You are now trying to get into that ocean. So one of the best way to declutter and give yourself an independent positioning is able to not just learn technology like data science or the data related application of data analytics, etc., but also application into various domains. So that way you always have this advantage plus B advantage. However you want to use it. You can want to change the job, you can change the job. If you want to give yourself an edge and moving ahead in your own sector, you always have an advantage. Okay, and just for your understanding, logistics, aviation, oil and gas, power, almost in every domain, the application is prevalent. It's happening thick and fast. By the time you sleep tonight and you wake up tomorrow, you will see a story around it. That's how fast it is happening. So if you are not ready, you would be probably in the back end of it. Okay, good. It was a fun interaction which we all had. Hope the session has been engaging for you, informative for you, and you understood the importance or what it needs you to do. Why this kind of careers are important, the application of data science and data analytics, and how the power of of Edology through our programs of the data science and AI/ML program is going to help you. Like I said, I earnestly request each one of you to experience this program, go through it. Whenever in education, whatever you're making is an investment. So the investment which will reap benefits for your career. And I am a prime example sitting right in front of you virtually, who have benefited from a important and a strong education system. Learning from the best will make you the best. So choice is yours, but do appreciate these are times in your careers, in your life, you have to make the right choice. And if you don't make it in the right time with the right partner, somebody else moves ahead of it. And I want each one of you to be the people who are wise, taking the right decisions and moving ahead in your career and growing ahead in your career. If you trust in Edology and you join us in this journey, it's a promise of Edology. We will ensure that your career is being transformed. Okay. Thank you all. Have a great evening. Ponder over it, and wish you all a happy Diwali, which is coming up, and more such sessions which are going to happen from the House of Edology with its partners to help you in your continuous career growth in transforming your careers. See you. Bye bye. Take care. Thank you.